Hello, welcome. What is good, guys? Tone here, and today we're looking at a game that I have been excited about for a while. This is Inkbound, developer Shiny Shoes follow-up to the fantastic deck-building roguelike game Monster Train. And this just launched into early access today, officially on Steam. And this is a big departure from Monster Train, but also similar in a lot of ways. Like it's excellent UI and UX features, which is something that Monster Train excelled at. So excited to take a look at this here. So one thing you'll notice, there is a hub world here, and it's like multiplayer, so you can see different users on here. This does require an online server connection to play. And I guess this is quite popular right now because the game just officially released about 2 hours ago as of this recording. But yeah, so this is a roguelike game with a lot of like tactical combat in it, and it has some very like fun like roguelike progression mechanics where you progress your build and all this other stuff as you go along. So I'm really excited about that, and we're going to showcase that in a moment here. But I guess the quick summary is this game has... it looks great. It feels great to play. I think in the short time I've played so far, the combat is, and like the gameplay seems very solid. I really like the build progression mechanics. So there's a lot of really cool stuff going on here. One thing that I think is a major negative for me at this point that I just want to get out of the way at the front here is it seems like they're going for a pretty heavily into a live service game approach. So this game is going to have seasons, a season pass that you can purchase. It's all cosmetics, so it's not pay to win, but it has a cosmetic shop. You can buy currency for cosmetics, and this stuff I don't really like in my games. I actually think this stuff is manipulative and like unethical on a lot of levels. If you look at like even the tiers that you can buy these things in, a lot of this stuff is doing that thing where like it costs 700 to buy something, but these only come in like 300 packs, so like you need to get more, and then you need to like spend more. I don't need to get into all that on this, but not really. That stuff turns me off a bit in this, so I don't know how important that is going to be to this game, how essential that's going to be to this game. This game is at a bit of like it feels weird saying this, but quote unquote like premium price for like an indie game. And I'm actually a big proponent for indies charging more money for this game, so that's why it feels a bit weird saying this, but it's $20 in early access. I'm guessing it's going to be like at least 30 when it comes in full release, but who knows. But they do want to do continued development. They're talking about seasons every 3 months or so, where they're going to add like different like biomes, essentially, enemies, like maybe classes, like abilities. So they're going to keep expanding everything out. So there's a lot of potential there. And that's why they're monetizing stuff. But this is probably the game that is like most in my wheelhouse as far as like these very like strategic, like tactical, like roguelike style games. That is also like the first one that's been like this heavily kind of focused around like live service and microtransactions and stuff. And it's very eye-opening to see that, and it's just interesting to see because that stuff is in like different genres I'm familiar with, but I haven't really seen it that much in here. I know stuff like Deep Rock Galactic has a battle pass, but I haven't even like engaged with that much. This has just been like very like in your face to me. There's like daily challenges, and I think SP, is this what? Yeah, this is specifically for like the season pass. Other quests, you unlock like the equivalent of like relics or whatever you'd have in the game, like different horizontal unlocks for upgrades and stuff as you progress in like the roguelike game. So just more variety in each run is like what your normal unlocks are. But yeah, there's like a pretty heavy focus on the live service aspect, the season pass, and the like kind of cosmetic shop there. So that stuff leaves a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. So we'll see how that goes. And there's also like ranked and unranked play. I don't know how that factors in. I don't know how ranks are scored and stuff like that if the game gets harder. So as I continue to play this, I'm really curious to see how that works. But yeah, I could see this looking a bit like, I don't know, I guess games like Hearthstone or something do a lot of stuff like this. That's not a game I'm familiar with. But yeah, so this is like very foreign to me, like seeing this kind of stuff into this game. So I'm really curious to see how that plays out. You can also play this multiplayer, which seems to be a pretty big focus on there, and that's why there is this like hub world. So I haven't tried that yet. I'm really curious to try that, so maybe I'll get some multiplayer games in this week or something, if I can find some other people who have it, and get a chance to check that out. But I'm looking forward to checking this out more this week in general. But I want to give you like the first look here. I basically played the tutorial in one run here, and so basically you have the hub world here. This feels a bit Hades-like. I don't know how much of like a progressive story there's going to be, or if it's just because I've been unlocking stuff, playing like the early levels. But like, I don't know if this is the kind of thing where you finish a run and then you go like talk to everyone like you would in Hades. But yeah, this has been like building out. Like this guy's new. He even has like a voice line for me. A lot of the characters have, this guy doesn't actually, and at least the early ones have like narrated voice lines, voice acted, which is really very nice touch. What's this guy saying? The Spooler, it's wonderful to be back here. It's been too long since we've smelled fresh ink and musty parchment, eh, brother? Oh, he's been quiet when he is, which means I'm left to run my mouth, but I'm not complaining. Oh ho ho. Well, I assume it's all bright little baubles that brought you over here, say. Can't say I blame you, though this is kind of the point. Okay, that guy really had nothing to say. But I don't know, you bring him some resource and he does stuff for you. We'll start looking at all this stuff. These aspects are your classes. So there's 3 classes to start. You can unlock 2, and it looks like there's a bunch more that you can unlock as you go on. So I've played the Magma Miner. That's what I'm going to play here. This is a bit of like a combat class. This guy looks roguish. They throw shurikens. This guy has some kind of magical abilities. So I don't know what they're all about. The Weaver here, and then there's some other ones here as well. This guy looks defensive. He's holding 2 giant freaking shields. But I'm gonna stick with the Magma Miner here. This feels a bit like Ironclad, Silent. I don't know if this would line up with anyone, but that's what these 2 reminded me of like immediately. So I'll pick the Magma Miner guy here, and we'll jump into a run. I don't think there's anything else to really look at in the hub world here. This guy gives you quests. Let's check out what the gameplay is here. I'm going to go into an unranked dive here. The whole kind of like lore behind the game is there's like a sea of ink, which is where this is, and you came out of the ink, and there's like books and stories and worlds that are like fading out of existence, and then you're trying to like save them by fighting off the enemies and that sort of thing. Actually, oddly enough, when I say it out loud, it feels a lot like Rogue Book, story-wise. You have this quill. It actually feels like a Zelda fairy that's following you around. They speak this language you can't see, but the other people apparently understand. And they kind of came to you, and so you're just like this ink blob that came out of the ink. You've been summoned forth to help in this campaign to fight off whoever is like killing all the stories, that sort of thing. So a lot of ink story text like themed stuff going on here. So this guy is the scribe. So I'm so sorry, little quill. I can't understand your letterings, but given that determined expression on your binder's face, and we are the binder, I imagine you're looking for aspects. Aspects of the classes. Clairvoyant is the only one I've encountered in my wanderings. And okay, so this is unlocking additional aspects. Even she has been missing for some time. The book she last called home has become, well, a cesspool of darkness and villainy. That does not mean all is lost. I wager the best place to start looking is the Silent Promenade. I have a friend there, a quill of some power. Find Ohm, and they'll set you on your way. So there's quests here that are like going through like the meta progression and the story that progresses between runs. We just got some quillings, which are currency in this game from that. There are some light like consumable or like destructibles that break and give you stuff, but it's not like a run around and break all the boxes in a level kind of thing. So every run, it seems like we get to pick like an overarching quest here, like a goal to do throughout the run. So this one is inflict 140 poison, burn, frostbite, or bleed. That one should be really easy. This build, or this character seems to do a lot of burn. 25,000 damage, that should be pretty easy. Inflict daze or deal critical hits 60 times. You can spec around crits. I think this damage one will be the easiest here. I'm just going to go ahead and take that. Then progress at the start of a run here. You get to pick, start you off some upgrades. I love when games do this. It kind of just like sets the tone and the style of the run that you're about to engage with. So these vestiges are essentially relics. We have a bar right here. These are going to go on. And you're capped at this number 7 here, it looks like. And we get another one, you can drop these on the ground and move them out. And they do have like tiers, like there's gray ones, green, there's like blue, purple, and then like, I guess like an orange, like legendary kind of color. I don't know all the tiers well, but let's see what we got here. In combat end, drop a random potion. Consuming an item in combat, gain 1 ability power until the end of turn. Getting a potion every combat sounds pretty good. They seemed harder to come by than even in like a game like Slay the Spire, I feel like, and they have a similar effect. You have 2 consumable item slots. So that could be pretty good, just so I could feel comfortable using a potion every combat, feeling the need, even if it's a random one. The Braided Acacia, on being hit, deals 75 physical damage to the attacker, and this gives 10 max health, which you start at 50, so that's a pretty big upgrade. That's a 20% additional max health there. And on being hit, inflict 5 stacks of frostbite to the attacker. So these both rely or seem to be built around you getting hit. I usually try to avoid getting hit in this game, but like you can build up shield and stuff like that. So there's definitely like an archetype for your builds in this game where you can rely around getting hit. We can also re-roll this for 30 quillings here. I'm just going to take the tool belt here. Maybe we'll get a crash course in consumables and stuff in this game. And we get to augment a binding. So the bindings are our abilities. We start with 3 abilities. These are always the same for this class, at least, this aspect. So we have the bonk, we deal 35 damage. We have the leaping strike, which we leap and do that damage in an area. And then smash, we do 120 damage to a single enemy. But you can see these all have a resource cost, and some of these have a cooldown. Like this is a 2-turn cooldown, this is a 4-turn cooldown. So we do pick what we're going to get here. Bolstered bonk, a little extra damage there. We have heavy leap, which is extra 20 damage in the leap. None of these excite me, honestly. Maybe the 5 stacks of burn on this. You can get like very big damage numbers, I've noticed, and maybe augmenting the initial damage of these just makes those even better. Like 15 damage on this is a pretty big percentage boost to the base here. So maybe that would have been pretty good. But you only have 3 upgrade slots here, so I want to be kind of picky on how I upgrade some of these. Again, I've played like the tutorial in one run, so I don't know if my strategy, like reading into that, is good or not, but that's how I'm playing this so far. This is flashing, probably because of some quest thing. I wanted to stop flashing, so I'm going to click on it. Okay, it's just going to keep flashing. I think this is where we were told to go by the dude down here. Is that what he said? Silent Promenade? Did he say where she's at? They just said that the book is a cesspool of darkness and villainy. I don't think they told me where to go. What was the quest? Aspects of the Lost Binders. Silent Promenade. Okay. It must have said it somewhere because that was stuck in my mind. So these are like the biomes we can enter to start here. So different enemy types and stuff will be based on this. So steadfast ruins of the silent city of Runestone, where still no whispers are heard. Let's jump in. So again, this game looks fantastic. I like the use of color and their palettes and stuff here, and like the overall style feels really good. The movement feels very fluid here, which the movement here is like not important. It doesn't like really impact the gameplay. So you move pretty fast. It's like easy to move around. It just feels very good to play and control. So we're gonna jump into a combat encounter here. We get to pick a direction. This is sort of like an abstracted you know, Slay the Spire FTL style node map, except you don't see the nodes ahead of time. We just get to pick our direction as we go. I guess it's more of a Hades style room, actually, is kind of what this is doing. So we have 2 combat encounters to choose from. They both give us a common augment that'll augment one of our bindings, and then we can pick between a quilling cage or a tarnished vault. I think the vaults have vestiges we can put here, and this gives us quillings, which are the currency. Let's go check the relics. I think tarnish must mean it's like a low tier, but some of them are actually quite good. That gave us a potion. So we got a mercurial elixir. Left click to consume, reduce all cooldowns by 3. Can all use in combat. So these shiny things will drop us some currency. Let's click on those. And we'll begin combat. Now we can talk about the combat and actually see what this game is all about. So combat is in this circular arena. We've already looked at kind of the skills here. And like I said, this game really excels on like the UI UX and just like how it is kind of showing and telegraphing everything to make everything feel and look intuitive. But this is like a very tactical style combat. It actually reminds me a lot of oh, what's the Midnight Suns, the XCOM Marvel game, like the Marvel game that Firaxis Studios made like last October. It's very similar to that without the cards. It is one of the things I feel. But yeah, this is showing you what all the enemies are doing. They're all attacking me directly, and that damage cannot be avoided without killing the enemies, which is important to note. I'm actually taking a ton of damage here. This is a scary first turn, one of the scarier ones I've seen. Each one of these ink blob things is an enemy that's going to spawn next turn. A lot of the times, and we'll see this soon, enemies will have like an area of effect that you need to move out of. Now one of the things is we start with 4 energy here. I think it's called Will. And then that's our resource essentially. So Bonk costs 1 Will, Leaping Strike costs 1 Will, and Smash costs 2 here. And Movement costs Will. So we have this tiny circle we can move in without costing any, and then once we go out to this bigger circle, it costs 1 movement, and we go out into this bigger circle, it costs 2, or 2 will for that movement. And then if I select an ability, you do WASD at this point, it'll lock you into the circle you're in, so that you don't accidentally spend more will, and then it kind of shows you, and this is where things start like looking very good in this game and like the UI. It kind of shows you exactly what the area of the ability is. So this can hit multiple targets. I can't do that right now, but it has this area. The Leaping Strike, you can see the radius here, and then I can place this anywhere I want. So I can actually hit 3 enemies with this if I wanted to. It'll put me over here. And then the Smash, this actually is only allowed to hit 1 enemy, so it won't hit multiple, but it's kind of the same deal as with the Bonk there. And now this is a power orb. This will give us +1 will, and it also reduces the cooldowns of all of our abilities by 1. So you have to want to pick this up after you use some abilities. I think it can sometimes power them up if they're off cooldown. I'm not completely sure how that works. Let's go ahead and just figure out this turn. I do like the idea of hitting these 3. It puts me a little far away from the orb down here, but maybe we'll work our way down. So we'll do that. That killed this guy. Now these guys, you can sometimes, look, I can get this to hit 2 of these, this guy's like kind of behind me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that because that seems pretty strong to get them off the board. I was taking what, like close to 15 damage, and now I'm only taking 4. So this is looking like a good turn so far. You can see the damage numbers on these guys when I hold Alt to bring up their information. Shift moving is a way to like look around with that. This guy is Rager. When they lose more than 50% of their life, they become enraged, dealing 100% extra damage. Oh dear lord, there is a public game chat. How do I turn this off? How do I mute absolutely everything? That is something I never want to see playing this game. Chat. Tab settings. Let's see. Dude, some people are saying Pog in my game right now. What is going on? Oops, screen shake. Let's turn that off. Okay. What is this? General chat? Local chat? Okay. Ooh, crisis averted. Alright, let's figure out what we can do here. So something interesting is, because of this zero movement, you can kind of move a little bit for free. So sometimes, like, if there are enemies around, I will try to, like, get a few hits in as I'm, like, moving slowly for free. It doesn't look like that's the case here. I think we're just going to spend a movement point to come down and pick up this power orb. Actually can't hit anyone from here anyways. So we'll use movement here. Let's see, I have 2 base. I move out here, I'm down to 1. This will give me 1 more. That will be enough to kill this guy with 2 bonks, and then I just take this 3 damage. I don't see a way to kill everyone. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna grab that. Oh, I think I made a mistake here, actually. So one thing I have not mentioned yet is our class passive ability, the Magma Miner. Gain 1 stack of heat whenever you hit an enemy. Heat gains 1 ability power per stack. On 5 stacks, you gain 3 shield. On turn end, so our heat goes away at the end of the turn, or if we use a ability that doesn't damage an enemy. So if we had like a mobility ability or something where like it just gives us like a shield or something. Like, our dude doesn't like that. He wants to just keep damaging enemies and building up his heat. Now this ability power. Let me show you the stats screen. So this is a pretty good screen. It shows you like all of your like information here. So ability power just gives you a flat 10% damage per point to all sources. And then these other are similar, physical and magic, but they're for different sources, physical or magic. Then we have crit chance, a crit damage bonus, stuff like that. So our bonk now does 56 damage. So I thought we might have made a mistake there, because I was wondering if killing this guy would have given me enough heat to one-shot this guy. That's not the case, even though he's pretty close. But I'm going to kill this guy, so I'm just going to take 3 damage this turn. I'm all out of points, nothing else I can do. I can't even move, so we are just going to hit the checkbox. Alright. Oh, there's like a bomb in the middle here. I think these guys do that after they attack you. They turn into bombs or something. We have our power orb down here. I can use my leaping strike again because I grabbed the power orb, so it ticked down the cooldown last turn. Forget if these persist in between turns. I kind of like to open up with like a big AoE attack because that generates a lot of heat. So this would generate like heat from 3 guys. So now we're doing plus 30% damage. That leaves me close to the power orb. Let me try to do this and get close to the power orb as possible. Who's doing the most damage to me? I see. I can maybe do this, grab the power orb, kill this guy. See how that goes. Sometimes you want to do a few things like nearby and then leap to the power orb. So actually, yes, I could kill one of these guys before doing my leap. But now I got to really start paying attention to how much will I have to spend. I actually can't even reach that guy. I could probably get 2 of these guys at once with 1 heat. Or 1 bonk as well. Maybe not. Not from this position. I probably could, if I like moved here, I could bonk you, then maybe bonk both of these guys. That would be 2 hits. So let's try this. The one thing that I think is really, or a little clunky to me, is sometimes trying to get the perfect shots in when like you really got to position like very specifically, especially because using WASD to move here isn't that precise. So sometimes it's better to do the mouse, which means I need to like leave the attacking UI and stuff like that. But I could hit both of these as well. Use my leap to jump down here or something. Can I get my bonk to instant kill these guys at any point? What was I at last time? Like 6 heat? 7 probably would be to insta kill. I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, this got a critical hit. I like the critical hit system in this game. So when you crit, it empowers your next attack, so you know when you're going to be making use of the crit. So this is going to do extra damage, an extra 50%. It doesn't seem to display that in the UI here, which I think would be a lot better if it did, but it does when you like hover over guys. Okay, so this guy has to die. He's doing too much damage now because I hit him once. But let's see. This will insta-kill a guy when it crits, one of these 60 health guys, so I shouldn't use it on someone I'm going to damage. I actually just hit this guy? I can. Right. We're going to do that. I think I'm going to leap down here. No, this is a mistake, actually. So I kill any of these guys without... If I hit any of these guys without killing them, they're just going to get empowered. So I need to make sure if I hit one of these guys, they are going to die. If I leap down here... Yeah, so I can't hit this guy. I could, like... If I hit this guy, I was thinking about leaping down here, then one of these guys will remain alive with at half health, so I don't want that. I think I'm just going to do this. It's close enough to pick up? It is. Too shy to kill, but I don't have enough heat to one-shot them. I'm just going to tank this damage. Oh, I almost left myself in a position where this thing was going to hit me too. Oh, I gained enough heat to get shield as well. So this guy's actually not even doing much damage to me. I gained 3 shield because I got 5 heat. So now this guy's 4 damage is doing only 1 net damage to me. So not too bad. I'm just going to come down here and end my turn, I guess. Oh, their corpses are what blow up. Interesting. So paying attention to where we killed them is going to be important. Okay, this guy should just die pretty easily. And our Alchemist tool belt dropped a potion for us. Oh, if I used one of these, we could have we would have gotten 1 ability power, and we've been able to one-shot a lot of those guys much easier. But you know, we got through that combat only taking 1 damage. I'm not too concerned. All right, so we get our rewards here. The Tarnished Vault, Call Forth the Vestige. Yeah, these have green borders. Are pretty low tier here. We have the Liar's Dice. On your turn, a 33% chance to gain 5 ability power until end of turn. I'm not a huge fan of the probability like effects here. They just seem very high variance. But this is a pretty big bonus on 1/3 of the turns. I think this is net very good. It's just high variance. So that's plus 50% damage from all of our sources on any given turn. We have the Ink Needle Compass, plus 3 crit chance and 12% crit damage. Or, yeah, 12 crit damage. That's okay. It does feel like something we'd replace eventually. Tarnished Treasure gains 1 magic power for each binding not on cooldown. One magic power would be this, so damage from magic sources, which we don't really have. But this is burning, and burning does magic damage. That's a pretty small amount of our kit right now. And I'm not even using this that much. I guess I should use this more. If we run into any tanky enemies, this will be pretty efficient. I can re-roll these if I want. I'll take the Liar's Dice, that sounds good enough. The Font of Wisdom. So this is actually just like current HP. This is actually like going to like a campfire and like say a spire or something. The first time I saw this, I thought it was max hit points, or like I thought it was gonna like be restore hit points on hit or something. No, it's not, none of that. This just is flat hit points. We're only missing 1, so that seems very bad. So we can take spike damage, which I haven't messed with. I'll take the crit damage because I think this class, from what I've seen, has a lot of opportunities to do crit damage. You can also re-roll this at the cost of, I forget what these things are called, ink globules or something. I don't know everything these get used for. They're a much rarer currency during the run. Let's just take the crit damage. The spike thing, I assume, means that it like procs when we get hit, which I don't feel like doing. And then we get to pick a common augment for one of our bindings. So right here, we can get more crit chance on our bonk. I actually like that quite a bit, getting a crit chance on our bonk. We could get even more burning on our smash, which just makes that like even better. This is 10 damage per stack of burns, so this would do 120 damage immediately, then 10 stacks of burn would do 100 damage the following turn, boosted by any magic power buffs we have or ability power buffs. I don't know when the damage over time gets applied, as if it's going to get those bonus benefits or not. So this could be very good against like tanky enemies that we might have to kill over several turns. I do like to kill things quickly. If we spec this into that type of ability though, and like this is like a long cooldown, it feels like a good place for this ability to be. This is nice because Leap is an AoE, so you inflict stacks of burn on multiple guys a lot of the time. Let's take the Scorching Smash. I'll give that a try. Now you only get 3 augments per ability here. And these are the common ones. Like these are like the bad augments. Like I almost want to like save these to like get the good augments. Did I miss a... No, okay. I thought I would miss like one of these things I can click on. Alright, what do we have here? A Binding Tuner. Now this is where we get to choose a new ability. We have 5 on our slot here. So these allow us to choose new abilities for our build here, and then once you're maxed out, you can start upgrading these in a way that's different from these augments. It's called Ability Ascension, which I'm sure we'll see soon. So let's see what abilities we are given here. We have Cultivate. Create a plant that grants 1 will for each turn it's on the ground. That is quite good. It is a non-damage ability, so if we don't use it at the start of our turn, we're going to lose our magma or our heat bonus here. 6 turns, but you probably place this on turn 1, and then you get 1 will for the rest of battle. Feels decent. Turn 1 I feel like is often kind of consequential, but there's also like a lot of relics I've noticed, or vestiges that give you will on the first turn, so that could be worth trying. We have the Cone of Frost, deal 20 damage in a cone, inflict 4 stacks of Frostbite. Frostbite says whenever you hit an enemy that has Frostbite, they take damage and lose a stack. There are also other synergies you run into, like I saw one where if you hit something that had Frostbite on it, they gain burning. This is also a cone. Area of effect is always good, especially when we get heat per enemy hit. 4-turn cooldown. I kind of like things that have shorter cooldowns. And we have After Image. An ally gains 1 stack of evasive, which says I'm being hit with a direct attack, dodge and lose 1 stack. On next turn, lose all stacks, max 5 stacks. We get to dodge one hit that we would take. Gains critical charge on a random binding. Oh, that's cool. Another non-damage one. I'm actually going to re-roll this. I'm looking for more damage. I think the Cone of Frost would have been fine, but I'm curious what else we have. Poison Vapor. Deal 10 damage in a moderate area around you and inflict 30 stacks of poison. Poison deals 5 magic damage per stack and lose half the stacks at the end, or on the turn start. So 30, that's 150 damage on the next turn, and then you lose half the stacks. Chain Lightning deals 30 damage to a single enemy. The damage spreads to nearby enemies. Inflict 1 stack of Shocked. On hitting an enemy inflicted with Shock, the enemy and all other shocked enemies are dealt 50% of that damage and lose 1 stack. So you're kind of seeing where all the synergies and effects and stuff come in this game. So a lot of complex like things you can do here, which I'm really excited to play with. What's this one do again? Hitting an enemy inflicted with... or wait, no, it's right here. Do damage to a single enemy, and then the damage spreads. I have a feeling that spreading damage doesn't apply to Magma Miner. I want to build up this heat. This is an area of effects. I'm going to go run with this right now. I'm actually not super excited about any of those abilities. But I'm not going to keep re-rolling. So we can do another Tarnished Vault, common augment, or we can get... well, we get a common augment from both of these, or we can do it for the Quilling Cage. Let's get some Quillings this time. We're probably going to run into a shop pretty soon. Alright, we have some new guys here. Looks like they dropped some bombs at the start of the turn. We're taking 3 damage from these two, unavoidable unless they die. And we have down here the Treasure Pot. Every 25% max HP threshold, they'll drop some Quillings. Defeating it will drop even more. It will flee combat after 2 turns. It looks like I started with 2 abilities that are going to crit here. And I also got my ability power boost from the Liar's Dice. So we're doing a lot of extra damage this turn. I'm curious to see how much money this thing drops. I kind of want to hit it with the Smash, which will like almost kill it alone. Oh, I cannot quite reach it with this. I don't think I can hit 2 of these guys at once. Nope. So with the Poison Vapor, I can get all 3 right now, which is pretty nice. And this, I moved to the bottom of my circle here, so I think next turn I can actually hit this guy with this, and then maybe I can pick this up as well. I like how I'm hitting all 3 of these guys with this right now. I'm going to try to get as close to the pot as possible as well. That pot's going to take a ton of damage next turn with this. They probably die at the start of next turn from DOT effects. If I focus on this pot too hard, I am going to take 3 damage from both of these guys. I don't know how worthwhile that is. Also, let me know, I have 216 Quillings right now. I'm curious to see how much this thing drops overall. So yeah, I'm going to do this. I'll hit you with that. You're going to die to DOT effects next turn. Wow, I already got over 100 from them. I'm not going to get a chance to use Leaping Strike before I pick this up. Probably. Yeah, because I'll have no energy after this. What happens if I do this? I grab this? No, it's too far away. So that is the end of my turn. I did get 5 heat to gain 3 shields, so I'm only taking 3 damage. I ended up outside the range of these. That seems good. I'll take this. We might have been able to do something more efficient with this 5 ability power. I perhaps could have ignored the pot this turn to kill these guys. And actually, I should have really prioritized this power orb while I have this ability power boost, but that's fine. Because look, this bonk is doing 70 damage now. Let's run with this. You're just constantly like completing quests and achievements and stuff in this game. Like you're doing damage, you're killing enemies, like all kinds of stuff. I'm at 400 now, so I was at what, 216? So I got 184 Quillings from killing that pot. That seems pretty good. All at the low cost of what, taking like 3 damage maybe? It does seem like the killing bonus wasn't huge because we were at 350, so we got 50 for killing it. I guess so. Actually, we can do some real math here. So 350 minus 216 is 134, and that would have been 3 25% health increments. So we got about 45 per health increment, and then another 50 when it died. Doesn't feel like that's much of a bonus for killing them, which is good to know. Leaving them on their last increment doesn't seem like that bad of a proposition. So there's another thing I was curious about that I had not tested yet, but the power orbs actually remain if you don't pick them up, which is really good to know. So what do we want to do here? And we can also use our elixirs if we feel the need to. There's only one enemy here. Like, I don't think I need to use this, even though it would reduce all my cooldowns. So I'm just gonna bonk the heck out of this guy. Wait, that did 700 damage in a single hit? Is that what that said? I actually don't... this is actually a little too much for me. I don't care for achievements and stuff in games, so I don't know what that was unlocking. I don't think it did anything for us in this game. We didn't level up and get like more hit points or anything. I think that was like a meta level up. You gonna die if I bonk you 2 more times? 3 more times? 42 damage. Yeah, you should. Maybe? I think the heat will do it, right? No, it won't. So let me pick this up, and I guess I did need to use the one of these potions if I want to kill this guy this turn. Alright, I'll go ahead and do that. Should have done that sooner, but whatever. So we're just going to use Smash here. Get out of here. I could have moved down here if I did that in a different order. You will notice as fights go on, the arena actually gets smaller, so you have a bit of a time pressure to not stall too much. And if you, I believe if you perform an action in this goop, or start the turn in it, you take damage. And these guys are actually spawning goop. At the start of turn, create a small blight pool. They call them blight pools. I can actually, taking 2 damage from all of these guys, I can actually like hit. Let's do this. Poison Vapor. It's literally all of them. I can hit 3 with Leaping Strike. Has to be these three it looks like. And that kills. Do this. We dance close to the thing. Oh, I don't even need it. Okay, that works. Alright, we got a barrier potion. Gain 10 shield. That's actually kind of nice. Alright. I'm not clear on what order I generally want to be taking some of these things. So this gave us a what? Flat ability upgrade, or a flat, like, kind of passive upgrade, like, for here. I'm gonna see what my augments are first. So you get 20 leap damage, 45 strength damage, potent vapor, plus 3 stacks of poison, which is pretty minor here. 30 to 33 seems like nothing. Extra 15 damage on the following turn. So I think heavy leap is good here. We could reroll. Let's take the heavy leap. Let's grab this. Get some magic power. I'm gonna go for the crit chance. Alright. And we get to pick our next area. Carver's Refuge is where you go to the shop. We actually have a lot of money, so the shop could be good. Binding Empowerment, gain a free binding augment and the capability to purchase another. Or within the ruins, your quill senses forgotten power for you to harness. I forget which this one is. Is that a new binding? I do not remember. check out the binding augments. I don't really know what the meta, well, I shouldn't call it meta, but like what the overarching progression strategy should be here. Still feeling that out, like how powerful some of these are, and whether it's worth like boosting up like one ability like really strong early, or like going to the shops early for strong vestiges or what. So I'm still just kind of testing things. You can fish here. Another very Hades-like thing. It even looks a lot like Hades. Let's see, this is an oozing jelly, not much of a fish. Let's see. It gives you plus 25% crit chance on critting, inflict 10 stacks of poison, and loss at the end of combat. That is very good. I'm going to replace this with it. That lasts all of combat instead of like... Oh, we have another potion here. I wonder if I can save that until after the next combat. Alright, so these are uncommon augments. These are a little bit better. We can make our poison vapor wider effect. We can get -1 cooldown on our leap, which I like a lot. That means we use this every turn, and this is very flexible because of the movement. Being able to use leap often saves us a point in movement that we might spend otherwise, just like relocating, so I like this quite a bit. We have the extracting bonk. On hitting, 10% chance to spawn an orb. So it's another one of those willpower cooldown orbs. 10% chance is like too small. Although, you can use bonk a lot, and you often do, because it's the one thing that doesn't have a cooldown. I could see this spawning another orb like every like 2 or 3 turns pretty reliably on some builds. I didn't take the quick leap. So our leap does more damage and has quick leap on it, okay. We can get a rare augment for 250, I'm going to take that up. So these are blue bordered. So dense leap is an extra 60 damage every turn. That's really good. The Mega Smash doubles the damage on that. Mighty Vapor inflicts 10 stacks of poison. Now that's an extra 50 damage on the first turn. I think I like the dense leap. I can also re-roll this, but 50 is actually a little pricey, and I think we have good options here. Notice that this is a rare augment, it's doing 60 damage. The common one I took earlier was only 20 damage. So like, I feel like putting common augments on these sometimes like makes them weaker. In some ways. Like, I wonder if the strategy is to like have like 1 or 2 skills where you put all the good augments on, and then you have some like kind of dump skills where you put all the bad ones on. Let's take the dense leap. That feels pretty good. That's a lot of damage this early. Alright, we have 3 options going forward now. I'm really curious to see if we can come back and do this. I hope I remember to. We have 2 that are hard combat encounters that have better rewards, so I'm definitely doing those because I don't want another common augment. So we have an uncommon augment and a superior vault, or a uncommon augment and a glyph globule, and that's what drops these currencies. Let's get the superior vault. That should give us a vestige down here of a higher tier, and we don't have a lot of these yet. Alright, hard combat, let's see what we got. 2 of these dudes, and this guy is burrowed. They have 50% damage resist while submerged. And they're doing a 4 damage attack in a very large area here. This is interesting because I can kill both these guys in like 1 bonk. Because then there's not a whole lot more for me to do, so I feel like I should be like... Does the poison even kill these guys? Not quite. The leap would. Kill everyone with like a leap. Maybe just hit this guy and grab this and like run out of the thing. That feels pretty good. This powers up my heat a little bit. So I have 3 energy left. Oh, I got the ability power boost here too. I think putting 10 stacks of burning on this guy feels good. I should have poisoned him first though if I was going to do this. And I should be able to click this from where I'm at. I don't know what the range is on those. I wish that was a little bit more clear. And then now I'm going to walk outside the range of your damage, so I take no damage. Alright, he came out. Okay, cool. So the status effects procced after he unburrowed, which is really cool. Whoops, did not mean to move around like that. What all do we have here? Okay, we got a lot of weaklings here. And this dude, another burrowed guy. This guy's doing direct damage to me, so we're going to want to kill them. Where's the power orb? It's behind him, so I think we're going to leap over here. That kills them. My leap actually kills this guy. Also powered up. It's a bit of a waste on a lot of these guys. I think hitting 2 guys at once is going to be worth it here, though. Grab the power orb, everything's on cooldown. I can actually leap again. Ooh, I didn't consider that with that cooldown reduction. I can leap twice per turn now. I can leap, pick up the power orb, and then leap again. We put a lot of augments on this, and one common, one uncommon, one rare. So this thing is like pretty damn good for us. I need to stay out of these circles. So I guess what we do... Oh, and these guys left these acid things. I think I need to stand out of... Let's test this. So I take damage doing this. I have 46 health right now. Ooh, I took a lot of damage from that. That was really bad. Okay. Good science. Okay, and I can easily hit this guy without being in that. We're gonna hit that a few times, and hop out here, kill you. Now I take no damage. Okay, this guy's a lot of health now. We have a power orb down here. This board's getting full of these blight pools, which make this challenging indeed. I think I'm going to use this. That doesn't kill these guys, okay. I feel like there's a juicy leap over here. Yeah, there's a really juicy one. I want to kill these guys as well before I go down there. Or I could leap here, crush these guys, pick up the power orb, and leap here. Guy has 600 health. Popping this, I can only hit 3 guys with this, but this would power up. That would give me 3 burn stacks. Another 30% damage on this, which is quite a bit. This is base what? 35 plus 80? So like 115. We got our ability power bonus here, so it's even doing more. So it's quite a bit of extra damage. Is it worth using that, or one more bonk is probably better? And actually, we want to put this poison on this guy if we're going to do that at all, but I want to try and kill this guy this turn. Okay, so let's go ahead. I hit both of these. Yes. I think we're going to do that. Leap over here. Bonk is powered up. Try and get out of this pool and also get as close as I can to the power orb. That up. I should have used this first, I guess, because I would have been able to grab that and lower the cooldown on it. My leap actually does about as much damage as that. And it uses less energy. I guess I'll just use that again. I have 1 point left, but nothing to do. forgot about these potions. I haven't really needed them. The game difficulty is on the easy side right now. There are 3 higher difficulties that I know of. It goes like gold, platinum, and Inkbound or something like that. I think I would probably get a little bored of the game on this difficulty after not too long, so I'm really curious to see when we get to unlock the higher ones. It's probably when we fight the boss, which I got to the boss on my first run, but I approached it incorrectly, so I didn't beat it. So maybe we can beat the boss here soon to see the next one. Alright, well, that leap is getting quite good. What does this disintegration oil do? Inflict hex and shatter on all enemies, which means hex is 30% incoming damage to magic, shatter is 30% extra physical damage. That's pretty good. Better than reducing cooldowns. Probably with our build. I'm cool with that. Alright, so we're getting green vestiges here, which I think is the uncommon. Yeah, that's what it told us we'd be getting. Let's see, the Parsimonious Power Source. On your turn, if your ability power is 0, gain 1 will. I wonder if there's an order to this. Oops, I actually didn't mean to move that. Because that one sometimes gives us ability power at the start of turn. I don't know how that interacts with this. Getting 1 will at the start of a turn is pretty good, though. I'm gaining shield, gain 1 stack of shattered will. Shattered will, at 10 stacks you gain 1 will, so it's like 1/10 of a will. None of the shattered will things I've seen seem to build up fast enough for me to want to mess with them. And the braided acacia shows up again. 10 health, I'm being hit, deals 75 physical damage to the attacker. Or we could re-roll this. This one feels pretty good. Grab that, let me pick this back up. Also, if we consume an item, we gain... Oh, ability power till the end of turn, and this is at the beginning of turn, okay. So that doesn't interact with it, really. Give me more crit damage, I guess. We get an uncommon augment. 12% crit chance on our smash. I don't really care for that because I can only use this every 4, I guess like 2 turns if I'm picking up orbs. Critting this is pretty big, especially I have 90 crit damage now. That could be very good. Wider area effect on the poison. I do kind of like that because we can use this to charge up our heat at the start of a turn. And then if it hits a lot of stuff that we don't end up killing, it actually does some pretty good DOT damage over time. On hitting, 10% chance to spawn an orb. I could reroll. Let's grab the poison augment. I want to see how big this is. Let's see. Trove of Bindings. Gain a powerful new binding or ascend one if your bar is full. So we're going to get our 5th ability here. Oh my god, there's an achievement for breaking destructibles. Oh, let's see. Blink, teleport a far distance away on turn start, full cost discount. Cost discount reduces the will cost of a binding until used or end of turn. So you can use this for free every turn that it's not on cooldown, basically. This does not do damage, at least in its base form. So it doesn't play into our Magma Miner thing unless we use this like first at the turn. We already have a good movement ability here with Leading Strike. I think I can ignore this. Chain Lightning, we looked at Cone of Frost. 20 damage in Cone, inflict Frostbite. This is 30 damage to a single enemy. Damage spreads to nearby enemies, inflict 1 stack of shock. 5-turn cooldown. None of these excite me that much. I know they can be upgraded. Do I re-roll this? Let's see what the other options are. Shield Wall, gain 4 shield and 2 stacks of spiked. Cultivate again. Okay, I'm just gonna take the Cone of Frost. I probably need to unlock more bindings or something. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of options. We've seen Cone of Frost in like 3 of the 4 pools, like option windows we've seen so far. Let's see. Sea Breach. A rift in the story creates an opportunity for you to make a powerful choice. The Carver's Refuge. Heal and spend some hard-earned quillings. And, oh, here's the Ohm thing. So let's go there. I don't even have that many quillings here. I think the top tier vestiges you normally get from these cost 250. And the healing thing is like 15 health for 75. And then there's like a legendary vestige you can get, I think, in like maybe the last quilling shop or like later. It costs like 400. I feel like we want to go there once we have like a lot of quilling to spend, especially when we want to like, be able to reroll and stuff. Let's go do the story thing. We have Ohm. This looks like an ink version of the scribe from the beginning. It kind of looks like. You come looking for aspects. They were all binders once, masters of a lost power, to distill themselves an echo of their intent into a sigil to be inscribed upon others. The clairvoyant tried to push this further beyond what others had known in some time, as she did not come to this alone. She had a teacher, one of many names. But now she prefers to be called the Gardener. Ironic given her past, but creation has a way of changing those who create. They taught each other just as they learned from each other in what has now become that dark force, the Vengewood. Find the aspect, bring it to the Gardener, and you will receive that dark power in turn. Alright. We need to find the Vengewood. Oh, we get an extra uncommon vestige here. So this is 25% crit damage to 3 stacks of stealth. Stealth says plus 10 ability power. That's 100% extra damage. I'm being hit with a direct attack. Dodge instead and lose 1 stack. I'm using a binding, lose 1 stack. This is really cool. So this is like an evade or like a stealth bonus, like a sneak attack. This feels really good. I can open up a fight with... It's probably not plus 30 ability, like it's not ability power per stack, but like I can open with like 3 attacks that do extra damage. Interesting. The Shadow Book. On your first turn, gain 1 will and 5 magic power until end of turn. I like getting extra will on my first turn. Barbed Bones. On your first turn, gain 10 stacks of spiked. And this is plus 4 spiked damage, so they do 10 damage base, but now they'd be doing 14 with this. Deal 10 physical damage per stack to the attacker. This is 10 stacks. 140 damage to attackers on the first turn. Interesting. I don't really like playing into taking damage, especially when I think the difficulty is low enough that I think we can avoid most damage on turn 1 here. But if you have an ability or like a build that like generates shield and stuff, you can often exploit it so you're like taking 1 damage to proc those effects. I don't think we have that kind of flexibility. The cloak seems pretty good. That's a lot of extra damage on turn 1. Although it does mean I'm not going to use my weaker area effect things to build up heat like I like to do sometimes, because they are going to eat up my stealth stacks. Leaping Strike becomes very good though. Double damage on this to a bunch of guys. I like that quite a bit. I like the critical damage, even though I don't have a lot of crit chance yet. Or we can reroll. Let's take the cloak. It seems pretty good. Oops, I didn't even see what our rewards were there. Is this a boss? I think it is. Cool, we got to a boss. We'll pause after this combat if we survive. Looking for a good stopping point for us because we're getting a bit long here. The Rhine Inferno. Rhinferno. So the boss's bar is always up here at the top. They have a lot of health. This guy's doing 9 damage. Is he doing 9 damage always? No, I think it's just inside this area of effect. Yeah, because I hover him, it blinks. Wonder why that doesn't look like the area of effect most enemies have. It's very subtle. Usually it's like very in your face. And then these guys are doing 3 damage a pop. Okay. One thing that's annoying about bosses, these ticks, once you damage them here, they're immune to damage. I actually don't like that much. Sometimes they have like a phase transformation. Sometimes it just like stops their damage. I don't know. It really punishes like builds that could like kill these guys in like 1 turn, which I don't feel like there should be a reason to stop them from doing that. Unless there is like an important phase transformation in a fight. But yeah, once we get here, we're going to do no damage to this guy. That's something I did on the final boss when I got to him on my first run, is like, I did like a bazillion damage to the guy after hitting one of these ticks just because of like the order it came in. So I played poorly around them on one of my turns, which might be what cost me the fight. So that's just something you kind of have to play around, but I don't find these very fun to play around. Okay. Well, we have stealth. Can I hit all three of these guys? I cannot. I think I need to hit the boss with all of my stealth hits. And one of them is going to be smash, but I want to build up. That doesn't quite kill. I want to work my way to the power orb. Just do this. Hit you on that. I can pick this up and then leap onto this guy. Actually, I'm going to do that now because I'm still on stealth, so I can hit both of these guys. And then I need to walk out of this guy's attack radius. Actually, this might stop his attack. Find out. Okay. It does stop his attack. He lost his fire stacks too. That was quite punishing. So there's no point of me putting more stacks on you. Oh, I should use one of my items. Well, I guess I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna get away from these things because they're gonna blow up next turn. Oh, his horn grew and he's doing a charge. Did I turn on some like simple... These telegraphed attacks from the bosses are usually like much more obvious, like it is with these things. Very, very weird. Alright, well I can hit all three with this now, which feels fantastic. I'm out of stealth stacks. That's fine. Now I want to work my way to the power orb while getting out of this guy's attack, which I have 4 willings to use now. I did get my bonus, it looks like, from this parsimonious power source. I think I'm just going to use bonk while walking my way over to the thing. I want to poison you? That will be more damage, won't it? I should have done this first if I was going to use this, because my bonk gains more benefit from my heat. And this gives me a stack of heat for the power orb. Actually, I should have done that when the other 2 guys were there, even though it doesn't kill them, because it would have been another 2 stacks of heat. And then we'll use Leaping Strike again, because it is just a ton of damage. Make sure I am landing outside of attack range. We're taking 0 damage here. Alright, he died to the poison damage. That was a very easy boss fight for us. Looks like we've got a rare potion here. Gain 15 ability power until the end of turn. On your next turn, lose 15 ability power. Can you go negative? I hope that's capped at 0. Get the binding tuner. So we are maxed on binding slots here. So now we ascend a binding. This actually might be one of the best places to use these glyphs, if I had to guess. But this is just like an upgrade, and there are like different options. So it's going to upgrade our bonk, which I like, because our bonk is something that we use a lot. probably every turn. Although Ascending Leaping Strike would be really good for us. I like this one a lot. This gives us 1 stack of heat when we hit, I guess when we use Bonk. So it really ramps up our heat production here. Mine says after mining an enemy twice, gain a small amount of quillings and a 25% chance to spawn an orb. So there are some abilities that greed to give you quillings. A few of them I've noticed are very, very powerful. I've gotten like a lot of extra quillings. Oddly enough, there was like a steal ability, which like actually had like a long cooldown and cost energy to use, and all it does is steal quillings, and it was pretty bad at that. If you ascended it like this, you could use it to steal potions and stuff, which actually gets a lot better. I noticed some of these ones that you can put on, like upgrade to, are actually like really good. Like I think Leaping Strike gave me quillings the first time I damaged an enemy with it, which was really good. 25% chance to spawn an orb is really good as well. So I see 2 strong options we can go here. Spawning an orb often means we're just using Bonk even more, because like other abilities have cooldowns. Well, the orbs reduce our cooldowns as well. That could be very good. But gaining stacks of heat quickly can also be very good. I have a lot of AoE abilities I like using for gaining stacks of heat. So maybe that's still not strong. Let's try the mine. I'm into the mine here. We could also re-roll. I don't know how often we have to ascend the binding. Let's try the mine here. I think we could definitely like build around that. An epic augment as well. So we got a purple augment here. Okay, well this is kind of insane. Whack-a-bonk. Bonk costs 0 will the first 3 times you use it each turn. Along with mine, we have a 25% chance every time that it'll spawn an orb. Oh wait, no, that only happens when you mine an enemy twice. That's actually a lot worse than I thought it was. I don't think I would have taken this had I recognized that. 25% chance every 2 hits is a lot worse than 25% chance every hit. This is pretty sweet. This would have actually been insane if I took the other upgrade, which I would have if I read this differently, so that's a bit of a shame. We also have Oversized Smash. Larger area of effect can now hit more than 1 enemy. I like that quite a bit. Freezing Frost is plus 25 Frostbite damage. So Frostbite does 25 magic damage per stack, now just 50. I like this Oversized Smash quite a bit. Because now we can apply 10 stacks of burn to a lot of enemies. We gotta re-roll this. I think there are stronger options. But the bonk, I actually really wish I had taken the other augment on this, because this would be insane with that. We don't have any other upgrades on the bonk yet, so we can make our bonk really good as well. Well, this might give us a ton of quillings. Let's just grab that. Mess around with it and see how it goes. And this takes us back to the Sea of Ink out of the story book we were in.
Hello, young Quill.
So we get to go to like Act 2 by picking another book. So we're going to call this here. And then we will pick up here and continue this run of Inkbound. But super fun so far. I really enjoyed this run so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this and got a good look at how this game is, including some of the UI stuff and all the kind of live service stuff that was tacked on at the beginning. But the core gameplay here is really good. I'm really intrigued to see once we unlock more stuff. I start checking out the other classes as I start unlocking the higher difficulties, how things go, because I think this game has a lot of potential and is a lot of fun to play. Also really curious how the like rankings like and leaderboards work with that, and also like the multiplayer play, because there seems like there's a lot of build archetypes that are kind of built more around like support or tanking, different roles in a party that you wouldn't really spec into in solo play. So I think there's a lot of potential there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a blast playing Inkbound here today. I'll give my usual reminders. Go check out the links in the description below. You can find my Patreon if you want to show some support for me and my work. That is the best way. That is over at patreon.com/tonehack. You can find that down there in the links in the description. You can also find my Discord if you want to come and hang out with me and everyone else. They're a wonderful place. A lot of good game discussions, roguelike discussions, and like other media discussion as well. Fantastic place there. And there's some other links down there if you want to find my Twitter, which I occasionally post on. I do a lot of retweeting of good stuff in there too. But all the other stuff there. But I am out for now. Thank you guys again, once again, so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take it easy, everyone.